Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hey there, nice meeting you.
Hey, hello. We're just gonna wait. Hey, we're just gonna wait a minute or two until the other students can join us. I hope that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, that's fine with us.
Thanks. First day always has problems getting everything started and set up. Have either of you used OmniCall before?
No, never. This is my first time.
We used it before, but only when talking to humans. This is the first time we have connected to more than one reality at a time.
Okay. Hope everything is straightforward and you can pick it up quickly. Also, I've set up accounts for everyone on the classwork website. I just checked the system logs and it looks like everyone was able to log in successfully. So that's, oh, again, here comes someone else. Hi. Hi there. Good to meet you. We still have two more students need to join us. And after
Able
that,
to
we
hear
will,
me now? Is it working?
yeah, you're coming through now. Welcome. We still have one more student waiting to join us and then we will get started. So we are missing.
Connection established. Greetings.
Okay, this is everyone. Welcome. I just want to check. This is the GridGrammer course. Did everyone sign up for the right coursework?
Confirmed.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Some of you I've had class with before, but I still want to do introductions. We'll go in turn. We'll give our English name, the reality that we're from, and why we're in the class. I will go first. My English name is Teacher Jack. My reality is called the universe, and I'm here because I'm the teacher. Poppy, we've had class together before, so would you go next?
Sure, teacher. Hi, everyone. My English name is Poppy. I'm in the closet. And I signed up for this course because I write a lot of fanfic, and I feel that if I knew more about grammar, it would improve my writing.
Yeah, thanks, Poppy. Noah, you go next. Your name, where you're from, and why you signed up for the class. Is your mic okay? I can't hear you. Check your settings and we'll come back to you, okay? Who wants to go next?
Hi there, we are Alan. Our reality is called We have been studying human culture, and many of the guides and textbooks for grammar seem to contradict how English is used. Sometimes the books even contradict each other. We joined this course to try and clear up the confusion.
Okay, thanks. Who's next?
Hi there, my English name is Doug. I'm not totally sure if my reality has a name. I have a hard time communicating with my human. Sometimes she talks too fast or talks in a way I can't understand. I hope that if I learn more grammar, it will help me understand my human.
Okay, very good. Last up is Robert. Robert, let's take a turn with you.
Designation Robert. Reality DEFPOTEC. Objective. Certification into combat negotiations requires a TFEC score above level 14. I attend this class to boost my score enough such that I can apply to the certification.
Okie dokie. That's a lot of different goals and objectives, but I really do think that this course can help all of you. First thing you need to know, this is not the absolute rules of English. This is just one system among many. There is traditional grammar, which you're probably forced to memorize in school. There is generative grammar, the system that made Noam Chomsky famous. There's functional grammar that's used heavily in education. There's dependency grammar that's used in computer science and modern large language models. Cognitive grammar, construction grammar, X-bar grammar. The list just goes on and on. I like to compare it to color systems. There's red, yellow, blue. That's the old art primaries. Cyan, magenta, yellow, black. That is used for printing. There's red, green, blue for computer screens. There's Pantone numbers. There's hue, saturation, brightness. The list just goes on and on. There's no one true system. There's just different ways of categorizing things.
Teacher, the color thing doesn't help me. I'm a dog. I can't see color.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm right. Sorry, Doug. Let me try a different metaphor. Think about music transcription instead. Even if you don't play an instrument, you have seen these symbols around. There is the standard notation. It has 5-line staff with note names like do, re, mi. There is the number system. So instead of chord C or A minor or G, it uses number systems like a 1 chord, a 5 chord, a 4 chord. This is so musicians can transpose instantly. There's guitar tabs. They don't name the notes at all. They just show what strings and frets your fingers go on. And we can talk about other cultures and traditions. There's even more systems. There's a Chinese system of notation, uses numbers. Medieval notation for Gregorian chants would have annotations in between the words. So that's another music system. There's no one music transcription system that is the correct way with all the others ones being wrong. There's just different systems for different purposes. Did that help at all?
Okay, yeah. That one actually works for me. I can't see color, but I can hear music. So thanks.
Okay, good. The second thing, this course is visual. Instead of memorizing rules, I'm going to show you where things are by placing them on a grid. The grid is based loosely on something called Reed-Kellogg diagrams. Now, Reed-Kellogg diagrams, they're almost 150 years old. They were brilliant for the time, but modern grammar has become much clearer in its approach. And now we have computer research, especially from large language models, that confirms what a lot of modern theories say about how words behave in slots. So I've updated the old Reed-Kellogg idea to match how English actually works under the knowledge that we have today. If you research into Reed-Kellogg diagrams, it's going to look a lot like what I teach, but the only place to find my own modifications are in this course. The grid system is especially useful in cases where verbal explanation gets messy. As an example, if I try and explain the difference between a gerund and a present participle, if I describe that using words, you're not going to be able to understand. It's just a bunch of gibberish and jargon. But if I use a grid system to learn grammar, that makes it a lot more easy. I can just point and like, here, this place, here is a gerund. And over here, this place, this is a participle. Done. It gets across the idea much more easily than explaining things in words.
Oh, that actually sounds useful. Spatial reasoning is very easy for us. Verbal communication isn't common in hive minds. Too slow, too linear.
Yeah, Alan, I really think it's going to clear up a lot of the inconsistencies you've been struggling with. The next thing, this course will make a lot of references to Old Saxon grammar. Now, Reed-Kellogg diagrams, they're almost 150 years old. But Saxon grammar is nearly 1,000 years old. I am not teaching Old Saxon grammar, obviously, but it's useful to know the history because it gives you a better foundation on why English works the way it does. Modern English grammar didn't come from Latin rules or school textbooks. It came from the old Saxon structure underneath the language. So when I show you things on a grid, a lot of it lines up with the way English has actually behaved for centuries. Another major point in this course, it will be based on lemmas. This is the term popular with the rise of large language models, and a lot of people think it just means the lemma means word, but word in computer language. It's not. It's very different. As an example, take the phrase do not enter. Classic grammar would break that into pieces. Do is a word that is a helping verb. Not is a word that's an adverb. Enter is a word that is a predicate. But we're not doing that. We treat do not enter as one lemma because it behaves as one idea. That lemma isn't a helping verb. It's not a it's not a predicate. It's not an intransitive verb. It's 3 words, but it's not 3 parts of speech. Now let's look at the opposite situation. Take the word right. If you analyze it as a single word, you might say it has 3 different parts of speech. But the truth is a little clearer than that. It's actually 3 separate lemmas. Right, as in left and right, that is an adverb. Right, as in right and wrong, is an adjective. Right, as in rights and responsibility, that's a noun. Same spelling, 3 different lemmas. 1 word, 3 lemmas. 3 different roles on the grid. Now, traditional grammar tries to look at the word and describe how the rules apply to that word. In this course, we look at the lemma, we look at the idea, and figure out which grammar rule applies to that.
Confirmed. Treating lemmas as atomic units reduces ambiguity by 93%. Analyzing surface words is inefficient.
How did you... You know what? Never mind. It's not important. Next thing. We've talked about what this course is. Now we want to explain what this course is not. First of all, I am not the grammar police. I am not here to teach you the correct way, because I don't believe there is a correct way. Whatever subculture, whatever group of people, if an English speaker uses it, then it's correct. My teaching style, one way isn't better than the other. They're just different from each other.
Teacher, thank you. That actually makes me feel really happy. Like, I use the word like a lot when I talk, and people have told me that means I'm speaking wrong or that I must be stupid. That really hurts my feelings. I'm glad you won't do that.
I will do my best. In my reality, we have a job called anthropologist. They are scientists who go into a culture and simply record what people do. They document it so that others can learn and understand from their research. This is the approach that I believe in. I just want to document what people use as grammar, not force you into believing there is one right way.
So, is it kind of like what we are doing with humans? Observe, study, but don't interfere?
Uh, yeah. Well, it's close enough. The technical term is linguistic descriptivism, meaning we describe how people actually speak, not how some rule set thinks that they should speak. And speaking of technical terms, that brings me to the next thing. The next not, the course is not about memorizing a bunch of abstract technical jargon. I'm not going to make you learn 50 labels just so you can recite them on command when you take a quiz. You don't need to memorize dictionaries full of terminology to understand English. Now, I will give you the technical terms, but only so that you can be able to search for them later on and get more information. For the classroom, I will do my best not to use technical terms.
So, no pop quizzes where we have to define subordinating conjunctive adverbial participle phrase?
Doug, I promise you, if I ever say a phrase like that, it's because I've been replaced by an evil clone.
Good. because I can't even spell half of those words.
Yeah, exactly. This course is meant to be usable, not academic. We are not scientists trying to analyze language. We use language for practical purposes. And you'll learn a system by seeing it rather than memorizing a bunch of labels. So I've explained what this course is. I've explained what this course is not. Now I briefly want to tell you why I made this course in the first place. I've been teaching for years, different schools, different ages, different backgrounds, different countries. No matter where I go or who I teach, I kept seeing the same mistakes show up again and again. Now, if those mistakes were the student's fault, I'd expect them to be different from group to group, but they're not. They're the same everywhere. And when everyone makes the same mistakes, that tells me the problem isn't the students. The problem is in the textbook. If everyone learns from similar materials, they end up with similar misunderstandings. So I built this course to fix that. It'll give you a system that actually matches how English works instead of how textbooks telling you how it should work. So that's about the course. I've told you what it is, what it isn't, and my motivations for making the course. Are there any questions?
Teacher, what will the final exam be like? Will it all be multiple choice? Will there be an essay? How long is the exam?
There's not going to be a final exam. I don't believe those actually help you learn. An English test does not prove that you are good in English. It just proves that you're good at taking a test. I'm not even going to hand out certificates. This course exists for one reason, to help you understand. If you go from not understanding to understanding, you pass. That's all.
Will the grid help me understand long sentences? Like the scary ones?
Ooh, the good news is yes, system absolutely helps with long sentences and with the complex ones too. We learn how to place lemmas onto a grid so we can make the grid as big or as small as we need. A longer sentence is just a bigger grid. A complex sentence is just a grid with more pieces. All of the structure stays the same. That was the good news. The bad news is it's not going to help you understand everything. English is huge. There is general American English. There is received pronunciation. There's Australian English, Creoles, regional dialects. No single system can cover everything. Not classical grammar, not the grammar you learned out of textbooks, not the system I teach. Nothing can cover everything. Languages change all the time. Even if someone invented a system that explained everything, it would be out of date almost immediately. But for the kind of English you see most often, school English, work English, everyday English for communication, this grid system will make long sentences and complex sentences feel easy, not make them feel scary.
Do we need to know anything before we start? Because I kind of forgot everything from the last class. Actually, I forgot all of it.
Nope, you don't need any background knowledge at all. I'll mention things that were in the traditional textbooks, but that's only to help the students that already learned from those books. You don't need any of that to follow along. This course starts with the absolute basics, and it is really beginner friendly. That is everything for the introduction. Next week, we'll start with a little background that you need. I'll explain Saxon grammar. We're not going to learn Saxon grammar, but I keep referring back to it again and again, so it's important that you at least know what it is. I am recording each of our lessons, and I'll put everything onto a playlist on YouTube. If you ever need to review or you miss something, and I mentioned in class, oh, we learned this thing 3 weeks ago, you can just go back 3 weeks and watch the class again. Uh, the whole class, everything that we do will be there in one playlist. That is it for today. See you all in the next lesson. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ending
Bye.
transmission.
Stay
Goodbye.
amazing.
Bye.